You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Yes, it is hot and sunny once again here in Florida. Temperatures in the low 90s, so baseball fans will seek relief inside here at Tropicana Field in air-conditioned comfort. And tonight they'll see the Yankees on display. Their stars have been playing very well of late. Carlos Beltran had a big day. Brian McCann swinging the bat. And, of course, there is A-Rod in the lineup tonight as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It'll be the Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 1 of a 4-game series from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with David Cohn. Welcome to Yankees baseball on Yes. The Yankees, a brief homestand, only 4 games, but they won 3 of them from the Baltimore Orioles, including a pitching performance yesterday from Michael Pineda. He was outstanding with 16 strikeouts. But about 3 weeks ago, the Yankees were here at Tropicana Field, and things were not going so good. They had lost 6 of the first 9 games, but here's where the Yankees began to turn it around, David.
Well, they really did. As you look back, that was really the series that gave you sort of a look on how the Yankees are going to play, and this was the first one. Alex Rodriguez showing you he's still got some bat speed and hits a monster home run. Still one of the longest ones in the AL so far, and for good measure, a laser down the line on an inside fastball. So A-Rod sent notice that he was ready to go, and of course the starting pitching, Masahiro Tanaka, really had a great game. And then a big grand slam from Chris Young, who's been so valuable to the Yankees in this first portion of the season. Just a clutch hit at the right time. The Yankees have known for that. And then, of course, how about the back of the bullpen? Betances really got it going, and then Miller. You got a first look at the dual monsters at the end of the game for the Yankees that have given up nothing so far this year.
And the Yankees have been at home on the road. 11-5 on the road. They've averaged about 5 runs a game. The batting average is up there at 247. They've hit 17 home runs. The pitching has been very good. Second best road record in the major leagues. Only the Houston Astros are better. Their record is 12-4. Let's check out tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank N.A. See what know-how can do. CC Sabathia gets his start for the Yankees. Well, looking for his first win of the year, 0-5, 5.45 ERA. And Alex Colomé, he's pitching very well of late for the Rays, 2-0 with a 1.80. When we come back here on Yes, Meredith Marakovitz will take a look at Carlos Beltran. Will be batting second tonight for the Yankees. Carlos is heating up. Carlos Beltran with Meredith Marakovitz when we come back right here on Yes.
continue their dominance over the Rays. They've beat them 5 out of the 6 games they've played so far this season. Hi, I'm Meredith Morakovitz. Joe Girardi has continued to voice his confidence in Carlos Beltran, simply saying he is too good of a hitter to not turn things around. Well, Beltran proved Girardi right on Friday night. He came up with a big 2 RBI double, then followed it up on Saturday with an RBI single. Yesterday, he hit a solo shot, his first home run of the season. He's driven in 13 so far, and after the game yesterday, he spoke about what's been the difference lately.
Being inconsistent, honestly speaking. You know, I have had my good days at the plate where I feel like I'm seeing the ball well, and I have had my bad days at the plate. But, you know, hopefully today everything turns into a positive note. I'm worried more about being able to, you know, put consistent at bats. And if I'm consistent at the plate, I know that result will come. So, I mean, but it's always good to be able to contribute and, you know, get in the base path for the guys behind.
Beltran is in the lineup this evening. He is batting second. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. Ken Singleton and David Cohn coming your way next with lineups, first pitch baseball, right here on Yes.
$15% or more on car insurance. By TriStateGMC.com. And by Mohegan Sun. Full of action, full of possibilities, full of life. Just a little north on I-275 is Tampa. We are in St. Petersburg, Florida, underneath the roof here at Tropicana Field. First game of a 4-game series between the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. And let's check out the Yankees starting lineup, as always presented by Lexus. And leading off tonight, it'll be Brett Gardner. He'll be in left field, batting over 300. Carlos Beltran in the second slot. He'll be in right field. Followed by Alex Rodriguez, the designated hitter. Cleanup tonight is Mark Teixeira. He'll be at first base. Catching is Brian McCann. Followed by the third baseman, Chase Headley. Chris Young will be in center field. Stephen Drew's at second. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, D.D. Gregorius. There are the Yankees. Carlos Beltran, his first home run of the season yesterday, David, and it was a laser into the lower deck in right field at Yankee Stadium, the 374th of his career.
We'll see who the Yankees will be facing tonight. A young prospect, Alex Colomé, and he's been good so far on the year. Just 2 starts. This will be his 3rd one. He's had a little bit of success against the Yankees, and you see no walks and 10 strikeouts in his 10 innings so far this year. Go ahead and check out the Pitcher Scouting Report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And as we said, he is a top Rays prospect coming into this year. Baseball America ranked him the top pitching prospect for the Rays, and they just keep churning them out, Kenny. It seems like no matter how many injuries they have, they've got another prospect like this kid with a power arm up to 94 with his fastball, an upper 80 slider, really good power stuff, moving all over the place, and all in the family. He's got a cousin, Jose Dominguez, who's in AAA for the Durham Bulls and actually pitched for the Rays in 4 scoreless appearances in April, and also is the nephew of another former Rays pitcher, Jesus Colome, who pitched from 01 to 06 for the Rays, so he's got good bloodlines.
Let's check out the Rays on defense behind Colome tonight. It's presented by Geico. In the outfield, it's going to be Butler in left, Geyer in center, Souza Jr. in right. Around the infield from third to first, it's Longoria, Cabrera, Beckham, and Loney. With Rene Rivera doing the catching for Jesus Colome. I should say Alex Colome tonight.
There you go.
I do remember Jesus Colome.
I tripped you up right there, didn't I? Brought it up.
About ready to go here, and as we mentioned before, the Yankees have played very well on the road. When they first got here to Tampa Bay, we mentioned they were 3-6. Since then, they have gone 17-6 and taken over first place in the Eastern Division. They have a 3-game lead on these Tampa Bay Rays, who stand second behind Joe Girardi's Yankees. We're about ready to go as Brett Gardner will step in for the Yankees. He steps in with a 5-game hitting streak, so he's been hitting well lately. Average over 300. On base percentage just a tick below 40% of the time that he's been on base. Kind of a Monday night crowd here at Tropicana Field. You know, you hear those, keep those cowbells silent. That means your team's in front. As Gardner steps in, we're just about ready to go. Colome looks like he's going to work from the stretch, or a version of the stretch. And here's the first pitch of the game, and it is in there for a call strike. Home plate umpire is Eric Cooper. He'll be calling balls and strikes. Adam Hamari will be at first, Dan Iasonia at second, and Lance Barksdale making the calls around at third. Next pitch to Gardner. That's a little outside, and the count is even up at a ball and a strike. Gardner in the top 10 in runs scored in the American League with 22. He has been doing his job, getting on base and getting himself around. 1-1 pitch is hit high in the air to left field. Butler over towards the line and stays in fair territory, makes the catch for out number 1. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. As we told you, very warm here in Tampa Bay. 82 degrees right now. It was 90 earlier today. The wind at 3 to 5 miles per hour. Humidity 66%. Forecast clear and cool under the dome. That's usually the case here at Tropicana Field. So 1 out. Here's Carlos Beltran. Beltran's got a 3-game hitting streak going, and he'll take the first pitch over the outside corner for a call strike. We mentioned Carlos's home run yesterday, his first of the year. That gives him 374 in his career, one more than teammate Mark Teixeira. They got a little race going. Next pitch is lined into the seats, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes.
Buzz phrase in today's scouting world and metric world is exit velocity off the bat. You know, everybody wants to know how hard you hit the ball. What's your exit velocity? Beltran's definitely coming up in May as opposed to April.
Swing and a miss, and he's out of there. Colome picks up his first strikeout, and there's 2 down for the Yankees here in the first inning.
Well, Colome's got good stuff, and you can see, like most of those Rays pitchers, they pitch down in the zone so well. 2 seamers and change-ups, and you can see him just pound this pitch down below the strike zone to get Beltran to swing over it.
So Beltran's gone. It'll bring up Alex Rodriguez. Alex had a 4-game hitting streak broken yesterday. As Colome deals, and Alex takes a little outside for ball 1. Alex was a big factor in the opening game of the 3-game series the last time the Yankees were here only 3 weeks ago, when he had a couple of home runs, including a booming shot about 471 feet. That pitch outside, ball 2. Colome one of a group of Rays starting. They've used 8 starting pitchers this year. There have been so many injuries to their rotation, and we'll fill you in on a couple of more pitchers that have gone down of late. The 2-0 pitch, and A-Rod will take it in there for a call strike. Alex Cobb was supposed to be their opening day pitcher, is lost for the season. There's pitching coach Jim Hickey. He'll undergo Tommy John surgery. I think it's Thursday he's going to have that surgery. And Drew Smiley, who came off the disabled list, there's Alex Cobb, with a bad shoulder. Looks like he's going to have shoulder surgery for a torn labrum. High fly ball. This is deep to left field. Butler going back. He won't get it. This one is gone. A home run for Alex Rodriguez, and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead. That's Alex's 3rd home run here at Tropicana Field this year. Number 662 of his career, and that one was launched.
Well, you talk about exit velocity. Once again, loud sound off the bat. Must feel good, Kenny, when you hit it like that and you can just watch it for a minute. No. Okay, let me just drop the bat and begin that home run trot. And that is way back above the first section in left field.
Alex has made that trot around the bases 662 times. Pitch to Teixeira is a called strike. Alex is now just 3 runs batted in behind Babe Ruth on the all-time list. That was RBI number 1989. Swing and a miss, and it's strike 2 to Teixeira. And he's also just 4 behind Lou Gehrig's American League record for runs batted in. That is some heady company. Teixeira down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And he'll take one in the dirt, a ball and 2 strikes.
One thing about home runs like that, they always leave faster than they come in. Colomé threw it about 95. That was off the bat, that must have been close to 110 miles an hour.
So the Yankees have taken a 1-0 lead on the home run by Alex Rodriguez, his 8th of the year. Teixeira nubs one foul, got a piece of his right foot, and he's going to shake it off. Well, the Yankees as a team, that was their 39th home run of the year. And I think that's one of the big differences from this year as opposed to last year. The Yankees have turned it on the power, more like the Bronx Bombers this year. The 1-2 pitch, line towards the middle, and it's going to be caught by the shortstop Cabrera, and that'll be it for the Yankees here in the top of the 1st inning. But they do pick up a run. Designated hitter Alex Rodriguez goes deep for his 8th time this year, and it gives the Yankees a 1-0 lead. When we come back, the Rays will come up for their turn at bat here in the 1st. CC, but Sabathia has a run to work with. We'll check out the Rays lineup that CC will be facing tonight. At the very top, it's going to be Brandon Guyer. He'll be in center field. Steven Souza Jr. will be in right. Evan Longoria batting 3rd tonight at 3rd base, and the designated hitter batting cleanup is Logan Forsythe. Joey Butler will be in left field, followed by James Loney at first base. Asdrubal Cabrera will be the shortstop. Tim Beckham will be at second, and the catcher batting 9th is Rene Rivera.
See the big left-hander? Goes about 6'8", 300 pounds. 6 starts on the year. Only 8 walks. 29 strikeouts. You see the 0-5 record. Needs to get on the board. Let's go ahead and give you that pitcher scouting report. Brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers, and a little bit of luck. Kind of like that New York lottery commercial. You know, that little guy that stands right next to you? Just a little bit of luck. Inside edge. Pitch into the inside corner, and check Longo.
First pitch to Geyer is fouled back and out of play. Check Longo.
Check Longo is Evan Longoria because he has been tough on Sabathia in his career. He's got 24 hits and 6 home runs. Both are the most anybody's ever had off of Sabathia.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Geyer, and it's high and away for a ball. Geyer's got a 4-game hitting streak as he steps in. Every time the Rays have faced a left-handed starting pitcher, Geyer's been leading off this year. And you can see he's doing a pretty good job hitting at 294. The 1-1 pitch, and that's upstairs for a ball, 2-1.
You know, when I said a little bit of luck for Sabathia, you know, the run support just really hasn't been there. You know, he's been critical of himself, saying he needs to get better and pitch better, but only 9 runs in his 6 starts, so he hasn't had it on the offensive end.
Outside, ball 3, 3-1. He falls behind Geyer. Well, he's got 1 run to work with. And you're right. The Yankees have not scored more than 3 runs in any of his starts this year. And that's outside, ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Geyer to get things started for the Rays. Time for the Yankees defense, presented by Geico. It's going to be Gardner in left, Young in center tonight, Beltran in right, Headley, Gregorius, Drew, and Teixeira around the infield. Brian McCann doing the catching for CC Sabathia. Here's Steven Souza Jr., the right fielder. He leads the Rays in home runs with 5. And he takes a pitch high for ball 1. CC having trouble getting the ball down in the early going here. (12-14) in his career against the Tampa Bay Rays. Low and inside, ball 2, and McCann's going to go out and talk to CC.
Try to slow him down. You can see already, you know, Sabathia anxious, wants to have a big game. A little rushing just a bit so far. You know, I mentioned in that pitcher's scouting report the inside edge for Sabathia. The key is establishing the inside corner, especially against right-handed batters. That's going to open up the changeup, his backdoor slider. Everything else opens up if he can establish on the inside corner for strikes.
Souza Jr. takes upstairs, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. So after a leadoff walk to Geyer, Sabathia falls behind 3-0 to the next hitter, Souza Jr. And it's low for ball 4. So back-to-back walks to get things started for the Rays here in the first inning.
Let's go ahead and give you the Jeep hitters scouting report. Evan Longoria, I mean, we talk about him heating up. He homered on opening day, went 90 at-bats without another, but he homered twice in Boston on Wednesday and is 6 for 14 with 3 home runs in his last 4 games. Yankee killer. Well, Yankee fans know this. Since his 08 debut, he has the most home runs and RBIs against the Yankees, 28 and 81. And nice to CCU. We talked about it. A .414 career batting average against CC with 6 homers.
First pitch, a breaking ball drops in there for a call strike. Longoria had a streak of 270 consecutive games played. That was broken the other day. He was out of the lineup with flu-like symptoms. That has been going through the Rays clubhouse. But he's back in there after a couple of games off. 2 on, nobody out. Next pitch, outside, 1-1. Geyer at second, Souza Jr. at first. Change up is low. 2 balls and a strike.
The exact situations you wanted to avoid if you're Joe Girardi and watching CC tonight. You don't want to see Longoria up in these situations. 2-1 count, nobody out, first and second, in a position to do damage.
There's a call strike, and that'll level the count at 2-2. We mentioned Sabathia's record, 0-5 in 6 starts this season. Now here's a guy who's won 208 games in his career against 124 losses. And he's the first 200-game winner to lose his first 5 decisions since Bob Welsh of Oakland in 1994. And that was Welsh's last year in the big leagues. 2-2 pitch. It's hit in the air high to center field for Chris Young. Geyer is tagging at second. Let's see if he'll try for third. He is. Here comes the throw. It's wide of Gregorius, and both runners will advance. By missing the cutoff man, that allowed the runner at first, Souza Jr., to tag up and move to second. And that was a mistake because that takes the double play out of the equation here.
He missed the cutoff man, but Gregorius needed to get over a little bit more to line him up with a throw to third base. So I kind of put Gregorius on the spot there as well. As Young's got to make an effort to throw the ball to third base, but Gregorius his angle was off on the cutoff as well.
Yeah, second and third now with 1 out as opposed to first and third with 1 out, where 1 pitch could get you out of the inning. Instead, it's going to be Logan Forsythe with a chance to drive in a tying, maybe a go-ahead run here. He's batting cleanup tonight. He's the DH. And he's been hot. He's hitting 6 of his last 7 games, and the first pitch is inside for ball 1.
But a good pitch from Sabathia to get a tough hitter, Longoria. Got it on the inside corner. Tied up Longoria. Got him to pop up.
Curveball drops in for a call strike, and it's 1-1 on Forsythe. Managers love versatility, and you can look that word up in a dictionary. You might see Forsythe's picture. He can play all over the field. He's DHing tonight. He started at second base, first base, and third base this year. Next pitch, outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, you're right, Kenny. It is so valuable in today's games because every team needs extra pitchers. You're always going to have extra pitchers in the bullpen. So if you're on the bench on any major league team and you can play multiple positions, your value is so much more increased.
Next pitch is hit in the air towards the gap in left center field. Gardner on the run. Will he get there? Still going, and he can't get it. The ball 1 hops off the wall. The Rays are going to get a couple of runs here as they're going to wave home the runner from second. Here's the throw to the plate, and Souza Jr. is out of there. The Rays only get 1 run. Now Souza Jr. made a base running mistake. He tagged up at second, expecting Gardner to make the catch. He should have gone halfway with 1 out.
No doubt about it. You're dead on, Kenny. And first of all, the mistake in the heart of the plate, drilled into the gap. Gardner's got too much ground to cover. As you can see, Souza's playing catch-up right here. And this is where Gregorius' arm pays off. Beautiful laser, 1 shot right to McCann. Dead meat.
Well, we had the Yankees with a defensive mistake, and now the Rays with a base running mistake. And the game is tied at 1 once Souza Jr. is tagged out, and then now there are 2 down. So Forsythe lost an RBI. You got to go halfway at second base.
That's inexplicable.
Yeah.
Inexcusable, actually. I mean, you just, with 1 out, there's no advantage to tag up and get to third base with 2 outs. It just makes no sense.
Well, after all that, as we're taking, I don't know what they're looking at here. I don't think he even touched home plate. Here he goes to tag up. Well, the ball's in the gap, and now he's trying to score. Yeah, he did tag him. They could be challenging the block of home plate, but he has to catch the ball.
He does have to catch the ball. You know, clearly that's probably the case. We thought maybe they were looking at Souza going around the tag to try to get that hand in there, but this is probably more of where McCann is when he receives the ball.
He's got a lane right there, and the throw is on the way, and now he has to step to catch the ball. And if he missed him the first time, he didn't get missing the second time, and he is out. So that appeal by the Rays goes against them, and they've only had one successful challenge this year out of about 13 now. So the Rays get one run. They've had one hit this inning. And it'll bring up Joey Butler, the left fielder. And Butler will take one outside for ball one. Butler was signed as a free agent by the Rays. 7 years in the minor leagues. Originally a 15th round draft pick by the Texas Rangers out of the University of New Orleans. Pitch is fouled off, and the count is 1-1. Now, during his time in the minor leagues, Butler was a teammate of Kevin Cash at AAA Round Rock. So Cash remembered him and is going to give him a shot in the big leagues. Butler spent a brief period of time in big leagues with the St. Louis Cardinals. He played 6 games for St. Louis. The 1-1 pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. Now, last Monday, Butler hit his first career home run, and that was at Fenway Park off Clay Buchholz. These two were teammates at 2011 at Round Rock. The 1-2 pitch, and it's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. CC's pitch count has climbed to 22 pitches here in the first inning. "14 balls, 8 strikes. Usually it's the other way around with CC. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll do it for the Rays here in the bottom of the first inning. They do tie the game. At the end of one, it's a 1-1 game here at Tropicana Field. Vehicle of the Yankees, and the conversation will start this way. What's the most dominant pitching performance you've witnessed live in person at a major league game? And here is at Tom Harnish says David Cohn's perfect game on Yogi Berra Day. Simply magical. Let's take a look. This is it, folks. Joe Girardi was catching that day, and Scott Brocious makes the play. The celebration is on.
Didn't go to sleep for days, Kenny.
Fans, follow Yes Network and tweet your responses using hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid to keep the conversation going. That was a magical day, David.
Should have quit right there on the spot.
Yeah. And the first pitch to Brian McCann leading off for the Yankees here in the second inning. And this 1-1 game is in there for a call strike from Alex Colomé. Well, you can't do it because then you wouldn't have had a chance to pitch another one in your next start. Pitch to McCann is outside for a ball. And Johnny Vandermeer is the only one to throw 2 no-hitters back-to-back.
Very true. And you can think about how hard that would be.
Oh.
Go back-to-back on days like that, either a no-hitter or a perfect game.
The 1-1 pitch, and McCann hits it on the ground towards first. Loney's going to take it himself, steps on the bag, and there's one down. Well, right now we're going to hear from Meredith Marakovitz. Meredith, what's up?
Well, Kenny, it's interesting. A guy who is turning 90 tomorrow in Yogi Berra had a little bit of a hand in that perfect game as well. I'm sure you know the story already, David, but Joe Girardi told me during last week's taping of the Joe Girardi show that Yogi actually came up to him prior to you throwing that perfect game and blessed his glove and said, this is going to be a good one. David's going to have a good game. And don't you know what? He goes out there and throws the way he did.
Thank you, Meredith. Of course, Meredith will be joining us during the game and also on the post-game show. First pitch to Chase Headley is in there for a strike. Of course, tomorrow it's going to be Yogi Berra Day in New York and New Jersey. How about that? Yogi's 90th birthday. So we wish Yogi an early happy birthday. Next pitch to Headley is low for a ball, 1-1. Because when Yogi turned 80, he told me he was going to subtract years from this point on. So he's only 70 years old now. In Yogi years.
Yeah.
The 1-1 pitch, and Headley hits a high fly ball towards center field. Geyer was playing deep, and coming over is the left fielder Butler, will make the catch in the gap for round number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees here in the second inning. And it'll bring up the center fielder Chris Young. Young getting the start in center field today. Jacoby Ellsbury sitting out. Just a day off. And that shows you the value of Chris Young. He can play just about anywhere in the outfield.
You got to do it here. 4 days on this turf.
Yeah.
You can imagine that Joe Girardi is factoring that into his decision making.
Next pitch is a little bit low for a ball. And you might see some of the other outfielders take the night off or DH during the course of this series. Young's done a fine job. 306, 6 home runs and 12 runs batted in. One of those homers was a grand slam right here at Tropicana Field. Next pitch is popped high in the air. Evan Longoria, let's see if he's fair or foul. He is in fair territory, and that'll do it for the Yankees here in the top of the second. They go quietly 1-2-3 at the end of inning and a half. It's a 1-1 game. NA, putting the power of know-how to work for you. By your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. On to the bottom of the second inning in a 1-1 game. First of 4 here at Tropicana Field. The Yankees road trip will continue. Once they finish these 4 games, they head to Kansas City for a weekend series against the American League champion Royals. First pitch to James Loney is poured in there for a called strike. Now, the first time the Yankees played the Rays here at Tropicana Field, Loney was on the disabled list. He had an oblique injury, suffered that in spring training. He's always hit well against the Yankees. Line drive, hot smash, and Gregorius comes up with it and throws him out. Nice play by the Yankees shortstop. There's one down.
Well, you chuck it in there and then get out of the way. That's the best thing that happened there. Sabathia got out of the way. It didn't drill him. For 100 years, the shortstop didn't play there, but nowadays he plays there. So you're out.
It's all in the scouting reports, the shifts, and that time it paid off. So 1 up, 1 down. They'll bring up Asdrubal Cabrera, who's got a milestone coming up. The Yankees would like to see him get it over the weekend. He's got 3 hits to go for 1,000 in his career. And Sabathia's first pitch is in there for a strike. Cabrera has always been known as a slick fielder. Maybe his range is not what it used to be at shortstop, but he's the only American League shortstop that has not made an error so far this season. So he's been sure-handed in the field. The 0-1 pitch, and that misses. A ball and a strike.
Yeah, the Rays kind of signed him for his bat and got the glove. Still waiting for the bat so far this year.
Well, the Rays have made the fewest errors, so their defense, along with their decent pitching, has him a few games over 500. Bouncing ball towards short. Gregorius to his left, gobbles it up, throws him out. 2 up and 2 down. So one shortstop throws out another. And Sabathia is off to a much better start this inning than last inning when he walked the first 2 batters of the game.
Well, it really just looks like Didi Gregorius is getting more and more comfortable with each passing game. Really starting to show what the scouting reports told us. Excellent range, cannon for an arm.
He had a couple of hits yesterday. That always boosts your confidence. Here's Tim Beckham playing second base tonight. That pitch is high and away for a ball. Beckham was a #1 draft pick overall for the Rays. But right now he is 1 for his last 20. Knee-high strike over the outside corner. It's 1-1.
The first pick in the nation, too, wasn't
yeah,
he?
He was.
The #1. Overall first pick in 08, I believe.
Well, it's taken him a while to work his way through the Rays system, but they've been patient with him. Every team likes to have those #1 picks come through eventually. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that's strike 2. The Rays dugout thought it was a little bit low. So did Beckham probably.
Sabathia changeup right at the knees at the bottom of the zone. McCann makes it look better than it probably was, but very close.
The 1-2 pitch, and did he go? No, and the count will level at 2-2. Before the game, I was talking to Tony Pena about catching, and Tony was saying that the first inning of a game, he would go to an umpire and he'd say, "Where are you going to be tonight?" And the umpire would say, "Check with me in the second inning." And there'd be a pitch that was down low, about knee high for a strike, maybe a little lower, and the umpire would call a strike, and Tony would figure that's where we're going to be. Then he could set his target a little lower and maybe get a strike a little lower. The 2-2 pitch, and that misses the inside corner. The count has gone full at 3-2. So just by asking the question, "Where are you going to be tonight?" and the umpire would say, "Check with me in the second inning," and Tony would figure it out by then and set his target for the remainder of the game. That's a veteran catcher at work.
No doubt about it. Tony, one of the best ever. One of the most demonstrative catchers back there.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. And it's swung on and missed, strike 3. So Sabathia, much better here in the second inning. The Rays go in order, 1, 2, 3. It's on to the third inning here at Tropicana Field. and it's still a 1-1 ball game. Second strikeout for Sabathia. May 24th, and the Yankees take on the Rangers. Prior to the game, the Yankees will celebrate the career of four-time world champion Bernie Williams with a special ceremony when the Yankees will retire his number 51 and dedicate a plaque in historic Monument Park. For tickets, visit Yankees.com or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Here's the first pitch of the top of the third, and Stephen Drew will take it in there for a called strike. Drew was on base 3 times yesterday, a walk, 2 walks and a base hit, scored a run. Our Audi A3 scoreboard tells you it's a 1-1 ball game. The Yankees run coming on a home run by Alex Rodriguez in the first inning. Pitch to Drew is outside, and it's a ball and a strike. Despite all the pitching injuries that the Rays have suffered, their staff's been doing a pretty good job. They are 3rd in the league in team earned run average. That pitch is a strike, 1-2. Kansas City leads, followed by the Yankees and then the Rays. The Yankees sitting at 3.30. That's second place. Then the Rays at 3.36. There's Jim Hickey, longtime pitching coach of the Rays and one of the best in the business.
He deserves extra credit this year.
Yeah, he does. 8 different starting pitchers thus far. The 1-2 pitch, and Drew will pull it foul.
I think you mentioned it, Kenny. I mean, it's the 14th time in the last 33 games that Tampa Bay has had a rookie starting pitcher. Far and away the most in the major leagues.
And one thing they have done, they've got a consecutive game streak going here. 19 consecutive games where they've allowed fewer than 10 hits. And that's a club record. Changeup is low for a ball, and Drew did not go, according to Lance Barksdale, and the count is 2-2. It'll be Drew, Gregorius, and then the lineup turns over for Brett Gardner here in the 3rd inning. The Yankees have 1 run on 1 hit. The very long home run by Alex Rodriguez. Ball is fouled off. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes.
We have a very small sample size with Colomé, but he has yet to give up a home run to a left-handed batter in 93 tries. We saw Alex Rodriguez, the right-handed batter, just hit a moonshot up here almost in the 2nd deck. But we'll see if one of these Yankees left-handed hitters can break him in. See, you know, he is yet, as I said, to give up a homer to a lefty so far in his career.
2-2 pitch is fouled at the plate once again. I mentioned the hit record set by the Rays, 19 consecutive games with 10 or fewer hits. And with all these records, rookies, that's very impressive. But they have another club record. 5 runs or fewer in 20 straight games they've allowed. So they've done some pretty good pitching. Once again, the 2-2 pitch, and it is swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Rivera. And there's one down. Tonight's injury report, fans, is brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Inspired Medicine. And this is what we're talking about with the Rays' injuries to their pitcher. Alex Cobb, Tommy John surgery, out for the season. Drew Smiley, torn labrum, likely out for the season and surgery. And Matt Moore, rehabbing from Tommy John surgery. He should be back maybe in July.
Yeah, Drew Smiley was a big blow because they just got him back, and Yankee fans will remember he pitched very well against the Yankees not long ago. He was the big big piece. Drew Smiley, the lefty, the big piece in the David Price trade, obviously, with Detroit.
Yeah, Smiley been having shoulder issues in spring training. Got healthy enough to start a few games, and now has to go surgery on that shoulder, a torn labrum. And you know, we've talked about Tommy John surgeries, and I wouldn't say that they're a sure thing because some pitchers have not come back from, but shoulder injuries are a lot more difficult to come back from.
Yeah, labrum especially, the back of the shoulder, the labrum. It's kind of the big piece that helps you when you slow down your arm after you release it, the decelerating part of the pitching delivery. Labrum so integral in that part of it.
Have you ever had issues with it, or?
Probably, yeah. Nothing to the extent of needing surgery. As you see Matt Moore right there, the lefty, probably be back at midseason from his Tommy John surgery.
Ground ball towards short. Cabrera on the backhand will throw across the first, and a scoop by Loney. There's 2 down. So Gregorius is out number 2, and the lineup will turn over for Brett Gardner.
You think about the pitching motion, it's somewhat unnatural as it is. I don't know if our human bodies were built to throw the baseball the way these guys do.
Or you guys did.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't do any more. That's why I'm up here. But you think about a guy like Colomé. He's throwing the ball 95 miles an hour to generate the arm speed to throw the ball 95 miles an hour. What happens after you release the ball? Your arm has to slow down, and the decelerator muscles in the back of the shoulder are so important.
Here's Gardner. He's 0 for 1. He flied out to left, and he'll take a pitch for a call strike. We mentioned Gardner has a 5-game hitting streak going. He's 6 for his last 19. He's batting leadoff tonight in the absence of Jacoby Ellsbury, getting a night off. And Carlos Beltran has moved into Gardner's customary second spot in the lineup. The 0-1 pitch, off-speed pitch. Here's the motion that David's talking about.
Yes, now the swing of the arm is generating arm speed, and then the ball's coming out about 95, and then after you release it, right there, that recoil, that's when the back of the shoulder muscles kick in, the labrum really especially. Help your arm slow down, or otherwise, there's some serious injuries that can happen.
That's in there for a strike, and that's why pitching mechanics are so important. That if you don't have the proper mechanics, you're just an arm injury waiting to happen. And even with proper mechanics, you can still get an arm injury. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gardner. Alex Colomé trying to set the Yankees down here in the 3rd inning. 1-2 pitch, hit high in the air towards the gap in left center field. Butler on the run. Fills the gap, makes the catch, and the Yankees do go in order here in the top of the 3rd. We played 2.5 here at Tropicana Field. It's a 1-1 game, Yankees and the Rays.
and the Rays as we head to the bottom of the third. Kenny and David, you guys were talking about some of the injuries the Rays are trying to overcome. Well, the Yankees got some good news. As you see, Masahiro Tanaka out on the field here at Tropicana Field about 4 o'clock. He did some long tossing, also threw 10 pitches. Larry Rothschild told me through some of his off-speed stuff, threw a couple splits just to make sure that everything felt okay. And now the plan moving forward is for him to throw a bullpen of about 25 pitches tomorrow. They're pretty quiet as far as the next step thereafter. They want him to get through that first and then see how he's feeling and kind of go from there.
Ball is booted, but the throw to first is still in time. Thank you, Meredith. As Rene Rivera is out, number one. Sort of like a busted play, but it still came through.
See, it just kind of rode right up the heel of his glove, but to Gregorius' credit and his throwing arm strength, he salvages it.
So one up and one down as Gregorius was able to recover. Now, Meredith, you said that Tanaka is going to throw 25 more pitches tomorrow?
Throw his first bullpen session tomorrow, Kenny. That'll be about 25 pitches, and that's the first time he's actually getting on a mound. So extremely encouraging that he's actually throwing again and that they're putting him on a mound so soon. Joe Girardi saying he believes the injury is behind him. His wrist is fine. His forearm is fine. His elbow feels fine. So Larry Rothschild also saying he wasn't shut down very long, so they don't expect it to take very long for him to come back and be a part of this major league rotation.
So in other words, build his arm back up so he can get out there and maybe first start, go to 90 pitches or whatever the pitch count would be.
Absolutely. They're obviously being extremely cautious with Tanaka, as they should be.
Next pitch to Geyer, the leadoff hitter, is fouled back. Our Audi A3 scoreboard, the totals are identical. 1 run, 1 hit apiece. Thank you, Meredith. Of course, Meredith will be on the post-game show along with Bob and Jack. The 1-2 pitch to Geyer, and he swings and misses. Strike three. Third strikeout for CC Sabathia. All swinging.
McCann setting up inside. This is that little two-seamer. He tries to swing back, and he gets under it. But it's 91 miles an hour, and it's got some life up and out in the strike zone, and he gets him to chase. We talked about Sabathia establishing that inside corner, and he's been working on a little two-seamer, a swing back a la Greg Maddux, that he can start inside off the plate to a righty and swing back to the inside corner. And to me, I think that's a key pitch for Sabathia. And talked about it in the scouting report. He needs to own that pitch because he can get a lot of guys looking on the inside corner, and then that'll set up his changeup and all the other pitches.
Here's Steven Souza Jr., and a breaking ball drops in there for a called strike. Now, in CC, over his previous 2 starts, 5 of his 7 strikeouts were on called third strikes. Tonight, they're swinging third strikes. And I wanted to ask you, strikeouts are strikeouts, but they kind of tell you a different story about how a pitcher's getting people out.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, Greg Maddux, the Hall of Fame Braves pitcher, made a living on called third strikes on the inside corner, particularly to left-handed batters. He had so much movement on it. It looked like it was going to hit the left-handed batter in the hip and swing back over the inside corner.
That pitch is a little high for a ball.
So obviously called third strikes are the paint masters, the guys that throw pitches that look like they're a ball the whole way and then catch the outside corner at the last minute. The swinging strikes are the guys who are usually the power guys, or the guys with the really nasty splitters or the really quick fastballs.
The 2-1 pitch, and that is called strike 2. Now, Souza Jr., his last 36 at-bats, 19 have resulted in strikeouts. He's among the league leaders in strikeouts. He has tools. He runs well. He has power, leading the Rays in home runs. But he's a young hitter, and he's learning the pitchers maybe the hard way. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's called strike 3. CC catches him looking. Couple of strikeouts this inning. The Rays go in order. We come back. Alex Rodriguez will be coming to the plate. He gave the Yankees a brief 1-0 lead with a long home run in the first inning. A-Rod when we come back. LaGreca and Ryan Rucco for their entertaining take on the hottest sports headlines, including opinions and analysis of all the local sports teams. Catch the Michael Kay Show every weekday at 3 right here on Yes. Very entertaining show. Here's Beltran with a very entertaining base hit to center field. And he's got a leadoff single here in the fourth inning. And now a 4-game hitting streak.
Well, I guess so. What's the old saying? April showers bring May flowers, and that's the key for Beltran. I mean, obviously the slow start in April, but May has been very kind to him, and he's hitting the ball with very good authority right now.
You know, there is such a thing as players who do not like to play in cold weather. I was one of them. And I was very happy when April was over and May would show up and the temperatures would start to warm up, because I felt that's when I started to hit. Felt more like Florida. Here's Alex Rodriguez. He'll take a pitch for a call strike. A-Rod with a booming home run to left field. It was out near that where it says Rays, beyond where the people sit in the bleachers out there, out near the walkway in left field. That is a fur piece from home plate. Yankees won, Rays won. A-Rod fouls the pitch off, and he's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. On the Lincoln scoreboard, there it is, 1-1. Yankees with a couple of hits. And the Rays with 1. Alex with that home run, now just 11 runs batted in from 2,000 in his career. Only one other player has 2,000, and that's Hank Aaron. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a missed, strike 3. He got him. 3rd strikeout for Colome.
Well, this is why he's a top prospect. I mean, that is a nasty slider, a shade below 90 miles an hour, right on the black, the edge of the strike zone. That's how you get to be a top prospect, with that kind of break and that kind of velocity.
So 1 out, 1 on. And the cleanup hitter, Mark Teixeira, is at the plate. Teixeira with a soft line drive was out in the 1st inning, and he swings and misses here for strike 1.
I mean, Colome is impressive. Everything seems to be from the knees down. Throws cheese at the knees, up to 95, hard slider. Good changeup to Teixeira right there as well.
Signed by the Rays way back in 2007. That pitch is in the dirt. Good stop by Rivera, and it's a ball and a strike. Colome might have gotten to the big leagues a little sooner, but he was suspended 50 games for PED use. He served his suspension, came to spring training, was a little late because of visa issues, then had a case of pneumonia and had to go on the disabled list, and now has worked his way back into rotation. Teixeira, a little blooper towards right center field. Geyer playing deep, won't be able to get it. Ball drops in for a base hit. Beltran turns second, on his way to 3rd, and the Yankees have runners on the corners with 1 out here in the 4th inning. I will say this: Geyer plays as deep as center field as I have seen. They usually have Kevin Kiermaier out there, and he plays much closer.
Yeah, without a doubt. And this is a broken bat. As you hear it, you can hear it. Obviously, way out there in center, you can't hear that. Carlos Beltran heard it and got a great jump. Did not hesitate. That's how he gets to 3rd base so easily, based on the sound of the broken bat.
Here's Brian McCann. I look out there at Geyer now. He's beyond that star out there in center. Nothing's going to go over his head. If it does, it's going to be a home run. McCann with a chance to put the Yankees in the lead, takes a pitch outside for a ball. That's the sound that David was talking about, the broken bat. You see it fall in front of Geyer, who's very deep in center.
Beltran heard that sound right away, never hesitating.
McCann fouls one over towards the Rays dugout. It's a ball and a strike. Yankees trying to take the lead here in the fourth. Single by Beltran. A-Rod struck out, and then a bloop single by Teixeira has runners on the corners with one down. McCann 3 for 11 on the homestand, hit his fourth home run of the year yesterday afternoon. Pitch is popped up. Drifting back is Longoria, and he will catch this one in fair territory, and that's not going to be anywhere near deep enough to get the runner home. So there are two down. Good pitch by Colomé. So that will leave it up to Chase Headley.
High changeup, as you see. That's how McCann gets it off the end of the bat. You think it's down the third base lines because he read fastball and swung at a high changeup. So not what Colomé was trying to do location-wise, but the speed off the end of the bat got McCann out.
Headley 0 for 1, flew out to left field his first time up, and hits one high and deep to right field. Going back is Souza Jr. This one is gone. A home run for Chase Headley. It's a 3-run shot, and the Yankees lead 4-1. Headley's fourth home run of the year, the second home run of the game for the Yankees, and they now have a 3-run lead.
Colomé goes right back to the changeup and hangs it right there. Headley just jumps on it. You get a hanging changeup, boy, that's nice. Sort of like that's what they call running into one. And that's the reaction of a pitcher that just threw a changeup right down the middle and says, why did I throw that pitch? I know that feeling very well.
So a 2-out, 3-run home run for Headley gives the Yankees a 4-1 lead, and it'll bring up Chris Young. And the first pitch is drilled high and far down the left field line, but this one's foul.
Did you ever run into one like that, Kenny, where you're kind of protecting for fastball and you get a hanging changeup and it just kind of speeds up your bat?
Yeah, well, yeah, it happened.
A few times, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can remember a few of them.
I feel like you ran into one. Headley ran into one right there.
First time up ever in Toronto, Pete Vukovich. First year of the Toronto Blue Jays. The 0-1 pitch on the way to Chris Young. And that misses the outside corner. It's a ball and a strike.
Nonetheless, we talked about Colomé not having given up a home run yet to a left-handed hitter, and that streak is now over.
Courtesy of Chase Headley. Ball is lined to right field, and Souza Jr. is going to have to play this one on the hop. So Chris Young with a base hit keeps the inning going here in the fourth. Yankees now with 4 runs on 5 hits.
Really nice from Young right here. Not trying to do too much. The pitch is away, outer third, short and quick, right to the ball. Hit it where it's pitched. Glide on into first base with a knock.
So the inning will continue for Stephen Drew, who was a strikeout victim in the third. First pitch to Drew hits the corner for a call strike. The Yankees now with 2 home runs tonight. They've hit 40 on the season. And they are among the league leaders in that category. A-Rod and Chase Headley tonight with home runs. Another off-speed pitch, and this one misses. A ball and a strike.
You know, Kenny, if the Yankees are going to keep this mustache thing going, somebody's going to have to get the handlebar mustache out. We're going to have to bring Goose Gossage in, get the wax out.
Teach him how to do it?
Go old school. If you're going to do it, let's go old school with it.
You mean a mustache coach?
The mustache coach. Bring in Goose Gossage.
Ball in the dirt, knocked down by Rivera. Keeps it in front of him, and Young cannot advance. 2 balls and a strike.
Raleigh fingers.
You know, I can see a promotion. Yeah. Yankee promotion, Mustache Day. Fans with the best mustaches, or would come in with a mustache, get something.
They need some help with that.
Yeah, well,
in my opinion, that's my professional analysis. They need a little help.
2-1 pitch hit on the ground, right back to Colomé on one hop. Drew hit it well, but that's going to be the third out of the inning. But the Yankees pick up 3 runs. Chase Headley going deep for the 4th time this year. Change up in the middle of the plate. This one's gone, and the Yankees have a 4-1 lead. Watch Joe Espada. He loves shaking hands on homers. Scoreboard. CC Sabathia, this is the most runs he's ever gotten to work with in a ball game this year. First pitch to Longoria is a little bit low, and it's ball 1. Longoria flew out to center field. Chris Young back in the first inning. Two balls and no strikes. Last year, the Rays had issues scoring runs. They finished last in the league in run scoring, and this year they're on that same sort of pace. They're down near the bottom in run scoring. Next pitch is fouled off, and it's 2 balls and a strike. And they do have good pitching, but that puts an awful lot of pressure on their pitching staff. Youngest manager in the major leagues, Kevin Cash, first year with the Rays. A native of Tampa, so he knows this area very well. Went to Florida State. Pitch is hit on the ground to third. Headley has it on the knee-high hop across the diamond, right on the money, and there's 1 down.
Let's go ahead. We're talking about the Rays. Let's go ahead and give you their team scouting report, brought to you by Mohegan Sun. Full of action, full of possibilities, full of life. A call to arms. The starting rotation has taken some major hits. We've talked about it. Alex Cobb lost for the season. Tommy John. Matt Moore on the way back from Tommy John. And now the big blow, Drew Smyly, who pitched so well against the Yankees a few starts ago. Done for the year with a torn labrum. Young money, that guy right there, Kevin Cash. Not only is he the youngest skipper in Major League Baseball at 37 years old, he's the youngest manager, head coach in all 4 major professional sports. And all you need is a glove. Well, that's one thing that hasn't let them down, the defense. They've really played well. They've only made 11 errors this season, the fewest in the AL, and the second fewest in Major League Baseball to the Marlins, who have made only 10.
Must be something about Florida. You don't make errors down here.
Yeah, it's one of the few turf fields left.
Yeah.
So you do get some true hops, although up in Toronto they've been complaining about that new turf up there. But down here, this is the same old stuff, the old AstroTurf down here, old school. They were actually dragging this turf, as you see there, the AstroTurf. They actually drag the infield here, almost as if they do the dirt portion. They've got the sort of this big, long dragging rake style of machinery.
Ball is hit in the air to right field. Beltran is there and makes the catch for out number 2.
But I don't think I've ever seen that on AstroTurf.
No, I haven't either.
They drag the infield on the AstroTurf portion here. Might want to try that up at Toronto.
Yeah. You know, with AstroTurf going the way of the dinosaurs, you know, back in the 70s with multi-purpose stadiums, to keep with wear and tear on the turf, just about every stadium was an AstroTurf stadium. And then, you know, both football teams and baseball teams, well, neither one of them were really happy with the stadium situation. So the NFL and Major League Baseball, they sort of parted their ways as far as stadiums were concerned. And both of them, you know, both entities got exactly what they wanted. The beautiful baseball stadiums and equally beautiful football stadiums with natural surfaces. Here's Joey Butler with 2 outs and nobody on. CC's 0-1 pitch, and Butler doesn't get it. It's 0-2.
But wasn't that the original idea in the Astrodome? They were going to actually try to grow grass inside, and they had the roof was glass that was supposed to let the sunlight in.
Didn't work.
The 8th wonder of the world.
Butler is moved off the plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes. You can see how CC settled down after the first inning when he had to work pretty hard and gave up the run. He walked a couple, gave up a hit. The only hit he's allowed in the game. Call strike 3. CC Sabathia. 5 strikeouts through 4. And at the end of 4, it is the Yankees 4 and the Rays 1. Got a good one going. Come on back. Following the ball game here tonight, Yankees leading 4-1. We're going to the 5th inning. Our Bigelow T scoreboard tells you the story. Didi Gregorius will lead it off for the Yankees. Grounded out to short his first time up. He had a good day yesterday. 2 for 3 with a double. A couple of runs batted in at the stadium. And he'll take the first pitch from Colomé in there for a call strike. Gregorius, Gardner, and Beltran for the Yankees. Here in the 5th inning. Fouled straight back. That had a boom. Let's take a look at this one, David.
Listen to it, too. A little wake-up call.
That was not a good thing when you're playing in your backyard. when you were a kid.
Start scattering, right? Run.
The 0-2 pitch on the way, and Gregorius doesn't get it. The swing and a miss for strike 3. And 4 strikeouts for Colome. Fans, for all the latest sports news and highlights from across the country, don't miss Fox Sports Live tonight at 11. You can see it on Fox Sports 1 or stay tuned for the simulcast of Fox Sports Live immediately following Yankees coverage right here on Yes. And by the way, Pete Rose will make his debut appearance on tonight's show. The all-time hits leader, taken to television. Here's Brett Gardner. Twice he's flied out to left field tonight. He's 0 for 2. I'm sure Pete has some opinions about baseball.
He's never been shy.
And Gardner takes a pitch for a strike. Gardner with a 5-game hitting streak on the line. This is his 3rd attempt to keep it going. And he fouls this one back to the screen, and he's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Yankees put together 3 runs on 4 hits in the 4th inning. A big blow, a 3-run, 2-out home run by Chase Headley.
It was a killer for Colome, as you see, really. Aside from that, 62 pitches here in the top of the 5th. Very good shape, 45 strikes, 17 balls. So he's really throwing the ball very well, except for that 1 inning and, of course, that hanging changeup to Chase Headley.
And Headley deposited into the bleachers in right field. Off the glove of Rivera, all the way back to the screen, and that is ball 1. These are the numbers for Colome. You can see he had to work a little harder in the 4th. Still held it under 20 pitches while giving up 3 runs on 4 hits. Gardner fouls another pitch off. With 1 out, he'll be followed by Carlos Beltran, who got the inning started with a base hit last inning. And Carlos was featured in our second segment, explaining why he's maybe starting to heat up a bit. That misses. 2-2 on Gardner. And that would certainly be a good thing. It would lengthen the Yankees lineup, and, you know, proven run producer who is creeping up on those all-time lists. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Gardner's out of there. He's now 0 for 3. 5 strikeouts now for Alex Colome.
Just a hard slider. Quick and late. He averages about 88 to 89 miles an hour on that pitch. As you see, it looks like a fastball right to the last minute.
2 strikeouts this inning. And it'll bring up Carlos Beltran, who did strike out his first time, and then solid single to get things started last inning. Swings, drives one deep to right field. This one is gone. A home run for Carlos Beltran, and it's now 5-1 Yankees. His second home run in 2 games. He indeed is heating up. That was a rocket into the lower deck and right.
Well, you're feeling confident. First pitch, 95 coming in, about 105 going out. Middle in, Beltran quick. Beats him to the punch.
So we're only in the 5th inning as A-Rod takes a pitch in there for a strike. But remember, we told you the Rays had a streak of 20 consecutive games where they've given up 5 or fewer runs. They've given up 5 already in this one. Check swing. Did he go? No. So Beltran, most runs batted in by switch hitters all time. He's now broken a tie with Ted Simmons, and only Mickey Mantle, Chipper Jones, and Eddie Murray are ahead of him. Some pretty good hitters on that list. Chili Davis on there. And there's a call strike to Alex Rodriguez, who's homered and struck out. So the Yankees have homered 3 times in tonight's game. 2 solos, one by Alex Rodriguez and Carlos Beltran, and a 3-run homer for Chase Headley. Ball is lined over short and into center field for a base hit. Alex Rodriguez with his 2nd hit of the game. The inning will continue for Mark Teixeira.
Good play coverage as Alex is off the end of the bat. Actually broke his bat on that one, but covered that pitch very well. Up and out over, you can see. He kind of cut it off the end of the bat, but very strong.
You'll always trade a bat for a hit. So the Yankees now with 7 hits in the game, and it brings up Teixeira, who has 1 of them. He singled and scored last inning. He's also lined out, so he's 1 for 2.
Just the value of 2 powerful switch hitters surrounding Alex Rodriguez in this lineup, and so important for Beltran to get going, as he has shown here in May.
That is low for ball 1. And another switch hitter tonight, Headley, with a 3-run homer.
Yeah, the value of 3 switch hitters in the middle of this Yankee order, and all of them getting going at the same time, boy, that changes the whole dynamic of this lineup.
Ball is hit hard, and it's going to go into center field for a base hit. Alex Rodriguez will move up 90 feet. He'll stop at second. And Teixeira with his 2nd hit of the ball game. And we're going to get a visit from the pitching coach, Jim Hickey, and I also believe the Rays bullpen might be getting up. While we have time, fans, we'll remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. That is more like a standing 8 count for column A. Getting a bit of a breather. He struck out the first 2 hitters here in the 5th inning, then gives up a home run to Beltran and back-to-back singles to Rodriguez and Teixeira. And it brings up Brian McCann, who's grounded out and popped out. He's 0 for 2. And he'll take a pitch for a call strike. So the Rays in danger of having 2 streaks end tonight. 19 consecutive games allowing fewer than 10 hits. The Yankees have 8 already. And a club record 20 consecutive games where they've given up 5 or fewer runs. The Yankees have already scored 5. Pitch is hit high. This is fairly deep to right field. Souza Jr. back, and he makes the catch for the out. McCann didn't quite get it, but the Yankees do get 1. A home run off the bat of Carlos Beltran, the 375th of his illustrious career. And at the end of 4 1/2, it's the Yankees 5 and the Rays 1. And CeCe's first pitch of the inning is knee high over the outside corner for a called strike. Loney is the only left-handed hitter. There's a few switch hitters in the lineup tonight, but he's the only strictly left-handed hitter facing CeCe. Pitch is hit high in the air to right field. Beltran going back and just at the base of the warning track makes the catch for out number 1. Let's take a look at the game changer presented by T-Mobile.
Well, it seems like CeCe came out early a little jumpy, very anxious. His control was off, missing badly early, got himself into a little trouble. But then all of a sudden, boom, he's got a little jump on his fastball. Ball's riding up and away in the two-seamer, and then a backdoor slider, and you see finally painting that inside corner. So Sabathia, really, the fastball got him out of that trouble and has really settled him down. It's really been a story of life on his fastball tonight and fooling a lot of these Rays hitters.
Pitch count, solid. 59 pitches. First pitch to Cabrera is in there for a strike. Cabrera grounded out to Gregorius. He's 0 for 1. Tropicana Field has not really been a place where CeCe has fared very well. He's 4 and 8 in this building. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Really starting to nail that inside corner, and McCann working him very well. And it's a big difference between velocity and life. Sabathia's got some life on his pitches. When they're up in the zone, they're riding. Seems to be beating a lot of these Rays hitters with his fastball tonight.
Pitch is popped into right field. Going to be a long run for Beltran. He's going to have to play it on a hop. So a bloop single off the bat of Struble Cabrera. He's on with 1 out. That is the Rays' first hit since the first inning, and only their second of the game. So Cabrera now needs 2 hits for 1,000 in his career. And a number 8 hitter, Tim Beckham, will step in.
We've seen that with Nathan Eovaldi, the Yankee right-hander that's a flamethrower, but sometimes his fastball straightens out, and even at 97, 98, it gets hit. Velocity's not the only thing. The life, the late movement, the action, the spin.
Eovaldi will be on the mound tomorrow night for the Yankees. Swing and a miss on a changeup by Beckham, strike 1. Beckham is now 1 for 21 after striking out in the second inning. Pitch grounded to short, could be 2. Gregorius to Drew for 1. On to Teixeira, then the inning is over. A 6-4-3 double play turned by the Yankees, and now we have played 5 innings here at Tropicana Field. At the end of 5, it is the Yankees 5 and the Rays 1. You know, New Yorkers have won $59 million playing daily fantasy baseball on DraftKings. Play free today. Enter promo code PINSTRIPES for free entry. There's a look out of doors and right back inside of Tropicana Field is Chase Headley, who had the big blow in the 4th inning, a 3-run homer. He'll lead it off for the Yankees here in the 6th. Yankees up 5-1 if you're just joining us. They've hit 3 home runs tonight. Alex Rodriguez, Chase Headley with a 3-run shot, and Carlos Beltran hit his 2nd home run in 2 ball games. Count is a ball and a strike on Headley. His 3-run homer was his 4th of the season, and he came with 2 outs in the 4th inning. The pitch is lined into right center field, and that will be in there for a base hit. That is Headley's 2nd hit of the game. And the Yankees now with 9 hits in the ball game.
Number 24, Chris Young.
Colomé getting another slider up. You see off speed right in the middle. The last one was a changeup. He goes to the slider here, and Headley's ready for it.
Yeah,
and once again, got sped up his bat.
Too many pitches in the middle. But big league hitters are not going to miss those. They might line out to somebody, but they're going to hit it hard. That's where they throw it in batting practice, and they want you to hit it in batting practice. Here's Chris Young. He has a hit in 2 at-bats. Single to right in the 4th inning. And a slider in the dirt, ball 1. Yankees now with 9 hits. Just 1 more and the Rays streak is over. 19 consecutive starts or games by the Rays that they've allowed 10 or fewer hits. Short lead for Headley at first. And a good scoop by Rivera, who comes with a reputation of being a very solid defensive catcher. And he pulls that one out of the dirt, but the count is 2-0 on Chris Young. Still no action in the Rays bullpen. 80 pitches now for Colomé. .2-0 pitch, and it's swung on and missed for strike 1.
Still a much different looking approach from Young this year as opposed to when he was with the Mets last year and struggled. Since he's become a Yankee, he's really settled in and gotten his confidence back.
Line drive down the left field line, but this one's going to turn foul and become a souvenir. Oh, nice stab.
Talk about hitters sometimes when they get into a slump, start second guessing yourself. Your confidence is very fleeting on the highest level here. Get caught in between, behind the fastball, ahead of the off-speed stuff. That's what it looked like with Young with the Mets last year in the early part of the year. Not so with the Yankees.
Well, he came over and had a good September, and that kind of carried over into this season. 2-2 pitch, and he fouls it off to the right. Might be a play for Loney as he goes near the stands, and he's going to run out of room. And did he get hurt? Man, he crashed into the wall and took a tumble. Kevin Cash, the manager, out of the dugout to check on him. Let's take a look. Ooh.
He's starting reaching for his shoulder. You can see he takes a peek, but then just keeps going. Another second peek. Hits the wall with his lower leg pretty hard, but then all of a sudden grabs for his shoulder.
Another look at Loney going down the line there. And of course, no catch. Once you reach in there, it's fair game for the fans. Once you reach into the seats. If they reach out on the field and interfere with you, the umpire can call the batter out, thinking that the fielder would have had a legitimate shot at making a play. About to gear it up again. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chris Young. Hit hard again. Look out, Joe Espada. Just behind the Yankee third base coach. Into the Yankee bullpen. I've never seen a fan, after getting a foul ball, that's not been happy about it. I mean, just. You get those souvenirs, that's like a bonus to come into a ball game. That'll bring you back to another one, too. Still 2-2 on Chris Young.
Grown men fight over that baseball.
I never got one when I was a kid going to ball games. Maybe because I was sitting so far away. The 2-2 pitch, and it swung on and missed. Strike 3. Young back to the bench with strikeout number 6 for Colomé.
This is one of the better changeups Colomé's thrown, down and in. So you see Young right over the top of it.
One out, one on. Stephen Drew to the plate. Colomé's checking with his infielder to see who's going to cover second on a ground ball back to the pitcher. Drew is struck out, grounded back to the box. So he is 0 for 2. Another good stop by Rivera. And it's ball 1. Yankees trying to get off to a good start on this 7-game road trip. It takes them to here to Tropicana Field and then on to Kansas City. Make that a 9-game road trip. They have a day off and then go to Washington. Play the Nationals. Headley's on the move. The pitch is outside for ball. The throw to second. It's in plenty of time. He's been thrown out. And that's out number 2. Headley was looking for his first stolen base of the season and didn't get it.
Not a bad jump. Good job by Colomé on a slide step. An excellent throw.
And we told you Rivera has a reputation as a good defensive catcher, and that one's right on the money.
That's what catchers love, a pitcher that'll give you a chance. Quick to home plate.
So 2 outs now, and Drew lines one towards the gap in right center field. This is going to be in there for at least a base hit. Drew rounds first. He's on his way to second, and he's in there with a stand-up double with 2 down. Drew's first hit of the ball game, and there it is. The Yankees have 10 hits in the game, and that will stop the streak for the Rays of 19 consecutive games allowing 10 or fewer hits, or fewer than 10 hits, I should say. Beltran has 2, Aaron has 2, Teixeira has a couple, Headley has a couple. And 1 apiece for Young and Drew. Here's Gregorius looking for his first hit of the night. And a breaking ball hits the outside corner for call strike 1. Drew at second with 2 outs. That one just missed, and it's a ball and a strike on the Yankee shortstop.
You know, we showed in our opening about when the Yankees were here last time. 3-6 was their record early in the year, and they swept the Rays here and turning their season around.
Ball has popped up to be just to our left. Yep, since then, when they came, they were 17-6 now since 3-6. So they've
17-6, and the Yankees have had the most difficult schedule in the major leagues. A lot of people talk to this particular stretch of so many games on the road as being a danger zone for these Yankees when they got off to that slow start.
I think it was 25 out of 35 on the road.
25 out of 35, and people were worried about the Yankees getting buried with this tough first 40 or 50 game schedule.
Bouncing ball, and it is foul down the right field line. Well, in our open we showed the Yankees are 11-5 on the road. Only one team in the major leagues is better, and that's the surprising Houston Astros. We're 12-4.
So that's why a lot of the baseball pundits out there look at this recent Yankee surge as very sustainable because they are doing it against a very difficult schedule on the road.
One-two pitch on the way, and it's outside 2-2. But I always thought, David, that the road is where baseball teams bonded. I mean, it's almost like it's us against the world. I mean, you're out there traveling around the country 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, going to a different city, hotels, and you really bond because you're on the planes, you're on the buses together. You know, at home it's a little different story. You have your families, and after the game's over, you go home to where you're staying, and it's a little different.
It's a great point.
Yeah,
definitely the camaraderie on the road.
The 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Another fine stop by the catcher, Rene Rivera. No advance.
There is nothing better than for CC trying to get on the board with your first win of the year when you're sitting with an 0-5.
Mm-hmm.
Pitched better than that 0-5 record, in my opinion. But there's nothing better than going on the road in a particular city and winning a series or sweeping a series. What a confidence builder it is. And as you said, Kenny, to your point, riding the buses, the charter airplanes, life is good when you can go into a visiting town and beat them up a little bit.
3-2 pitch, and Gregorius has drawn a rare walk. So he'll be aboard. That is just the 7th time that Gregorius has walked this year. So now there's 2 on and 2 out, and it'll be Brett Gardner who's looking for a hit tonight. He's 0 for 3. Colomé up to 95 pitches. And we haven't seen anybody warm up in the Rays bullpen tonight, have we?
Still nobody even stirring down there as Cash is trying to get Colomé through this 6th inning.
Off the corner, ball 1 to Gardner. Now we see some movement in the Rays bullpen. The 1-0 pitch, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And Colomé nearing the 100 pitch mark.
Well, it's just what the doctor ordered for CC Sabathia. As you see, Colomé still very good ratio of balls to strikes.
Ernesto Frieri warming up in the Rays pen. Gardner swings. It's a high fly ball, deep center field. Going back is Geyer. Still going back. This one is gone. A 3-run home run for Brett Gardner, and it's now 8-1 Yankees. Just to the left of straightaway center field, his 3rd home run of the year.
This is king size home run. You go dead central. That's not a Yankee Stadium job. Gardner drives this ball. Deepest part of the ballpark right there too, here down at the Trop. You see the center field fence kind of juts out to the left a little bit there, and that is legitimate. And Brett the Jet, he almost caught Gregorius sprinting around the bases on that 3-run Jimmy John.
Now a 6-game hitting streak as Beltran will step in, and he hits a ground ball to the right side for Beckham. And this is going to do it for the Yankees here in the 6th inning. For the 2nd time in the game, the Yankees pick up a 3-run home run with 2 outs in an inning. It's 8-1 Yankees. Rays go toe-to-toe in Game 2. Coverage on Yes starts at 6 p.m. with the Audi batting practice today and the Tri-State Ford pregame. And we're back with the call right here on Yes. First pitch is outside in their first strike. And fans, the Yankees have scored 6 runs. So log on to papajohns.com tomorrow for 50% off your online regular menu price order. Use promo code Yankees6 at papajohns.com. 8-1 Yankees. As that pitch is in there for a strike to Rene Rivera. Rivera grounded out 0 for 1, hitting 133 on the season. In the Rays notes, it said that Rivera, if he qualified, would have the lowest average in the major leagues. But there is a qualifier player who is lower average than him. It's a surprising name. Chase Utley, hitting 109 for the Phillies.
It's been hard to watch. Such a proud player and a great player.
All-star.
Got a vote of confidence from Mike Schmidt recently, and Mike Schmidt went through a similar stretch right before he retired at the end of his career. And of course, Mike Schmidt, the Hall of Fame third baseman. A lot of people think maybe the greatest third baseman of all time.
Full count now on Rivera.
I would argue George Brett in there, at least make an argument, but Mike Schmidt certainly.
Yeah.
Arguably the greatest. And
I'll tell you what, you mentioned George Brett's name. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Rivera. And he pops it up. Let's see if there's a play from McCann. Yeah, he sets underneath it and makes the catch for out number 1. You know, you watch players who you play against, and I played against George for many years. And I would say I got more enjoyment as an opposing player just watching him play than any other player. I just felt his desire to win. He played hard. He was a great player, too. I mean, tremendous fielder at third and could hit anybody's fastball. He was fun to watch, and I was just wishing he would be on my team, but he wasn't. The pitch is fouled off. You know, he was never getting away from the Royals. Geyer is 0 for 1 with a walk. He scored a run back in the first inning. There were some great players in my era, and I enjoyed watching a lot of them, but I think I enjoyed watching him as an opponent the most. Pitches pop foul out of play. And, of course, you didn't want him up there in key situations. Thurman Munson fell into that category, too.
Yes, yes, he did. Clutch. Saw George Brett turn so many singles into doubles and doubles into triples because he played the game so hard, busting it out of the box.
And plus, it was artificial surface, too.
Yeah, that helps.
In Kansas City.
They knew to run right away.
CC ahead on the count, and that one is just a little low, maybe a little outside. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Sabathia, 8 runs to work with tonight. This is a feast for CC as far as run support. Coming into tonight, 6 previous starts, he had 13 runs total. That's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Geyer. 1 out here in the 6th inning. The Yankees have used the power tonight. 4 home runs, including 2 3-run shots. 1 by Chase Headley and 1 by Brett Gardner. Foul back to the screen. Four home runs for the Yankees, a season high for the ball club in a game. Joe Girardi's club, but 3 other times that hit 3 homers in a game. The Yankees have homered in 3 consecutive innings. Call, strike 3. CC dots the inside corner and picks up strikeout number 6.
Well, once again, we talked about Sabathia needing to dominate the inside corner, and he's done it. McCann knows it. Watch where McCann's setting up. Right to the glove.
Well, he could have caught that one blindfolded.
Such a key pitch for Sabathia, especially to right-handed batters, which in recent history have given him more trouble than traditionally in the early part of his career.
Steven Souza Jr. takes a pitch a little bit low, misses the outside corner for ball 1. No contact night so far for Souza Jr. He's walked and struck out. That one misses downstairs, and it's 2-0. 2 outs, nobody on for the Rays here in the 6th.
This is just what the doctor ordered for CC Sabathia. Finally got some run support. Pitch count's in good shape. Might be looking to go 9 here just to rest that that great Yankee bullpen.
Swing and a miss by Souza Jr. for strike 1. There is the bullpen. I've never sat in a major league bullpen. 15 years in major leagues, never got a chance to sit in the bullpen. Little check swing, roll it to the right side. Going to be a tough play. Souza Jr. can run, and he has himself a base hit. An excuse me single for Steven Souza Jr.
Once again, back inside, ties him up. Good pitch. Check swing. Base hit, the box score.
Yeah, you're looking at a 6'4", 215, 220-pound guy running like that. Here's Evan Longoria. Flied to center, grounded to third. Rays all-star third baseman. And first pitch from Sabathia is outside for ball 1. They're an all-time leader in home runs and doubles. There's a strike. Count levels at a ball and a strike. Sabathia, if he gets the win tonight, would tie Vida Blue on the all-time list for wins by a left-handed pitcher. 209 victories. Two and one on Longoria. I think Vida had a 24-4 year one year. Won the Cy Young. Might have been the MVP that year too. I'm not sure. 2-1 pitch, and Longoria doesn't get it. It's 2-2. Part of those great Oakland A's teams of the early 70s that won 3 championships in a row, 72, 3, and 4.
Interesting. Sabathia from that part of the country as well.
Yeah. Of course, Reggie Jackson and Joe Rudy and Sal Bando and Bert Campaneris. The team was broken up because of free agency. Finally came to Major League Baseball players, and so our owner Charlie Finley said, I'm not keeping these guys. I'm not paying them what.
That's back when he was paying them to grow mustaches too, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Gave him all those nicknames, Catfish.
Oh yeah, I forgot Catfish Hunter.
Blue Moon Odom.
Raleigh Fingers, all of them. Call, strike 3. Longoria caught looking. Sabathia with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks as we've completed 6. It's 8-1 Yankees. Those were the thrills of the Yankees, presented by Pepsi. Upload your Yankees pride using hashtag Yankees Thrill for your chance to win an exclusive Yankee experience. Go to Yankees.com/Yankees Thrill for more information. The Verizon call to the bullpen is made by manager Kevin Cash, and he goes to Ernesto Friere to face A-Rod here in the 7th. And it's 0-2 on the Yankee designated hitter. A-Rod's had a couple of hits tonight. There's the numbers on Friere. Not bad. 13 strikeouts in 15 innings. 8 walks, maybe a bit too high, but the opponents are hitting just 192. A-Rod tried to check, goes around, and has struck out for the second time tonight. He's now 2 for 4.
Goes off speed. Kind of a floating changeup. Alex with a tries, sort of a check swing as we're going to get a look at it in Yesmo, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, Tri-State dealer.
Pitch to Teixeira, misses for ball 1. Teixeira's had a couple of hits. He's lined out, soft line out, and then he singled twice and scored a run. Ball is lined towards the gap in left center field. It's going to be in there, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Teixeira will have an extra base hit, his 3rd hit of the ball game. I was going to say he's mixed in a few singles tonight, but he comes up with a double. He's among the league leaders in extra base hits, and he's going to tack on another one.
That's right. Get off the single train. He doesn't like singles. But just kind of reaches out and pokes that right in the gap.
That's his 8th double of the season.
It's been an incredible comeback for Mark Teixeira this year so far. After the injury problems, all the talk about the long-term contract, the back end of the deal. What a comeback and what a statement from Teixeira, finally healthy.
So he's at second with 1 out. And Brian McCann looking for his first hit of the night. And he pops one foul out of play. McCann flying out to deep right field last inning, in the 5th inning.
Kind of the old saying in baseball, Kenny, if you keep predicting that the old guys are going to break down, they're going to decline, they're done, they're washed up, one of these years you're going to be right. But sometimes these guys still got something left, as a lot of these Yankees are showing. And CC Sabathia making a statement tonight as well on the mound.
Yankees now with 8 runs on 12 hits. McCann takes one off the outside corner for ball 1. Teixeira stands at second base with 1 down here in the top half of the 7th inning. Beltran's had a good night.
Had a good month so far in May.
Rivera's been busy behind home plate tonight. Scoops another one out of the dirt. Very quiet crowd here at Tropicana Field. The 2-1 pitch. Line towards right center. That's going to be in there for a base hit. They're going to hold Teixeira at third. But McCann joins the hit parade with his first hit of the night. Well, the Yankees have, besides the home runs, they've hung out some line drives in the game.
Yes, a good point, Kenny. As you say, that's not a bad pitch. Backdoor slider, outer third. McCann goes out and hooks it. And Teixeira immediately held up, and that's the right call in an 8-1 game with 1 out on turf.
No, you don't want anybody sliding into home plate, crashing into a catcher. Although you're not supposed to do it that way, it can still happen. Headley's had a good night, a 3-run homer, and also a single. And the first pitch is away for ball 1. Yankees trying to make it 4 in a row here at Tropicana Field this year after their opening sweep back in mid-April. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Friere at one time was the closer for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. but he had a propensity for giving up the long ball, and that's not good in the 9th inning. Pitch is on the way and fouled straight back. Let's go back to the 4th. After McCann had popped out with runners at first and third, there were 2 outs when this happened.
Yes, without a doubt. First pitch, change up right down the middle. Colomé can't believe it. But that's called picking up your teammate. McCann didn't come through with the sac fly. Chase Headley says, I got your back.
Headley lifts a high fly ball to left field. Teixeira's tagging. He's going to come in to score as the throw is going to be cut off, and it's now 9-1 Yankees. And give Headley another run batted in, his 4th of the game. Sacrifice fly to left.
Center fielder, Chris Young.
So Headley now with 14 runs batted on the season, and will give way to Chris Young here with 2 outs and a man at first. Young 1 for 3, his average up to 307 on the year. Strike 1 from Friere.
A very productive night from the Yankees' 3 switch hitters.
Strike 2 as Young is in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Beltran with a couple of hits. Teixeira with 3, and Headley with a couple. And of course, Brett Gardner, the leadoff man tonight, now has a 6-game hitting streak on the strength of his 3-run homer. Ball and 2 strikes on Young. It's been all Yankees tonight as they lead 9-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. They have scored in 4 consecutive innings. Young hits one high in the air to left field. Butler going back on the warning track, makes the catch for the out, and that's it for the Yankees. They pick up a run. It's 9-1. All Yankees tonight. Game. We'll take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers. Brought to you by Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. Nathan Eovaldi will get the start for the Yankees. He's yet to lose this year. And Chris Archer, the hard-throwing right-hander, will be going for the Rays. Should be a good matchup tomorrow night in Game 2 of this series. Here's Logan Forsythe, who drove in the Rays' only run with a double in the 1st inning. The first pitch from Sabathia here in the 7th inning is downstairs for ball 1. There is Chris Archer. Well, the Yankees, in their first series here at Tampa Bay and the series in New York, Archer had pitched the previous night both times. That's outside ball 2, the Forsythe. And he's among the league leaders in strikeouts.
No such luck this series. You're going to have to face Mr. Archer.
2-0 pitch, and it's hit high and hit well to left field. Gardner's going to take a look and watch it sail into the seats. This one's gone, and it's now a 9-2 ball game. Forsythe with his 3rd home run of the season.
Well, Forsythe continues to be impressive as Sabathia once again trying to come in on a right-handed batter. Doesn't quite get this one in there, but give Forsythe credit. Quick bat, cuts him off with the pass. See him bring his hands in and just beat him to that spot.
The Rays have 4 hits in the game. Forsythe has 2 of them, a double and a home run. He's driven in both runs. Here's Joey Butler. And Butler hits a high towering fly ball to right field fairly deep. Going back, looking up. It's gone. A home run. Back-to-back homers for the Rays here in the 7th inning. And it's now 9-3. For Butler, his 2nd major league home run. That ball just carried. It's been like home run derby here tonight.
Well, that's why Butler's up here, to try to give him a little power in his bat. Cash knew it from his teammate days back in the minor leagues. You can see high into the opposite field, just enough.
So still nobody out here in the 7th, and the Rays have scored a couple on homers. James Loney takes a pitch for a call strike. David Carpenter quickly heating up in the Yankees bullpen. A ball and a strike. Sabathia is now allowed a team high 8 home runs. One pitch, swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Loney. .53 strikes, 38 out of the strike zone out of the 91 pitches thus far. 1-2 pitch, call, strike 3, and Loney knew it. Turns on a dime, heads back to the dugout. 8th strikeout of the game for Sabathia.
Oh, big out. You know, Sabathia right back on track with a good looking slider right on the corner. Get the overhead view. Shaving the outer third, plenty of plate.
Asdrubal Cabrera has one of the 5 Rays hits. He had a single in the 5th. Little chopper foul down the third baseline. Sabathia trying to pick up his first win since April 24th last year at Boston, at Fenway Park in Boston. Now, of course, you have to remember his season ended on May 10th. He eventually underwent knee surgery. But he's 0-7 in his last 9 starts, and he's trying to jump back into the win column tonight. Good hook. Drops in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Line drive, and it eludes Stephen Drew, and it's headed to the gap in right center field. Chris Young's going to run it down, knocks it down. Cabrera heads to second. Now he's going to third, and he'll be in there standing up. We'll see how they score that. Young couldn't glove it cleanly. Kept it from going to the wall, but it's either going to be a double or a triple for Asdrubal Cabrera, who now has 2 hits in the game.
I think you got to score this a triple. Young's got to cut a lot of ground to cover here to go get this. Obviously, the AstroTurf accelerates the pace. Young has got a lot of ground to cover here. Beltran, at this point in his career, is not going to burn any speed records, and Young has got the responsibility to cut that off, and he actually did get there, but just couldn't keep his glove on it.
They're calling it a double and an error.
Ridiculous scoring, in my opinion.
You know what? I thought that was a triple, too, because he's running so hard to get to the ball and reaching down at the same time. Well, double and an error. E8. Either way, Cabrera's at third with just one out. And the pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Beckham, who was struck out and grounded into a double play. The 2-0 pitch is hit high in the air to right field down the line. Over towards the corner is Beltran. He'll make the catch. Tagging at third and scoring is Asdrubal Cabrera, and it's now 9-4. The Yankees have a 5-run lead. Sacrifice fly for Beckham.
See Joe Girardi get a little nervous. If you remember, Beltran took a nasty spill last year down here in that right field corner. They kind of shook him up, and he really wasn't the same player after that. After a hot start. It was right over in that area and over there where Beltran actually kept going. There's a shorter part of the fence a little further in that he just hit full speed.
Number 9 hitter Rivera takes a strike. The Rays have scored 3 times here in the 7th. And trimmed the Yankee lead to 5. Sabathia approaching 100 pitches after this one. And that misses outside for a ball. Erasmo Ramirez. He would be next out of the Rays bullpen. Did he go? No. It's Adam Hamari with the call. And it's 2-1 on Rivera. Now back to our right. And the count levels at 2-2. This is the play from last year.
You mentioned it last year, and you see the full speed. Not seeing that wall, I mean, that's just an incredible blow right there. And after that, Beltran kind of shook it off, but really wasn't the same the rest of the year, even after that play.
Off-speed pitch fouled off by Rivera. Charlie Montoya is going to make some friends.
I would imagine Joe Girardi would be looking for a spot to give Beltran an off day down here on this turf. But he's swinging the bat so well, it's hard to get him out of there now. All of a sudden, Beltran, the hot hitter in the lineup.
The only way he would be able to do it is if he wants to keep him in the lineup, make him the DH. Give Alex a day off. Pitch is just inside, 3-2.
Which was really the quandary of the Yankees lineup coming into this year. Is there's no room at DH with Alex playing as well as he can. There's no way you can use the DH position as a way station and sort of rotate players around as off days in the DH.
Got it. Sabathia strikes out Rivera for his 9th strikeout of the ball game. But the Rays pick up 3 runs here in the 7th. 7 have been complete. We're on to the 8th inning. Yankees lead the Rays by a score of 9-4. And this is how it's gone so far. Yankees leading 9-4 as we head to the 8th inning. Sabathia 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks and 9 strikeouts. Headley and Gardner with 3-run homers each. And A-Rod and Carlos Beltran, they both hit solos. New pitcher for the Rays here in the top of the 8th. It's going to be Erasmo Ramirez, who's made a couple of starts so far this year. Hefty ERA, 13.94, 19 hits in 10 of the third innings. He's walked 7 as well. And opponents are hitting .396. Stephen Drew swings at the first pitch, bounds it to the right side. And the flip to first is in plenty of time, and there's one out. And there's one out. Fans, MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, a pitch track widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Here is Didi Gregorius. Here's our Hyundai scoreboard, and it's 9-4. First pitch from Ramirez is over the outside corner for a call strike. Didi is the only Yankee not to join the party tonight. The Yankees have 13 hits, and he's looking for his first one. That pitch misses, and it's a ball and a strike. He's grounded to short, struck out. He did walk and score a run in the 6th inning. That's a high strike, and it's 1-2. Erasmo Ramirez from Nicaragua. Foul tip. I went there this winter. Very nice trip. David Carpenter continues to warm up in the Yankee bullpen.
Did you call El Presidente when you were down there?
Well, El Presidente called us.
Nice.
He had his first ever golf tournament. Raised money for youth baseball in Nicaragua. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed on a changeup, strike 3. 2 down for the Yankees here in the 8th. It was a very nice trip. If I'm invited, I'll go back.
Dennis Martinez.
El Presidente. In fact, that was Erasmo Ramirez's favorite player when he was growing up.
A good one to emulate. One of the great pitchers.
And like David Cohn, he threw a perfect game. His was against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium while pitching for the Montreal Expos. Brett Gardner had a 3-run homer last time up. Takes a pitch high for ball 1. Nine to 4 Yankees. Top of the 8th inning. There's one right down the middle in there for a strike. 1-1. Gardner with the homer in the 6th. Now has a 6-game hitting streak. It's a high fly ball towards left center field. Gardner has a beat on this one. He'll make the catch, and the Yankees go in order here in the 8th inning. 7.5 are in the books. 9-4 Yankees lead. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Jeep. Come discover great deals during the Jeep Drive and Discover event. By Blimpie. Try one of our new oven-fired artesian flatbread sandwiches. Blimpie, America's sub shop. And by your Tri-State BMW Center. Well, you can tell our producer Frank DeGrace was late coming to the ballpark today. He's lucky he didn't get stopped by any one of those Florida State troopers. We wouldn't recommend this at home, folks. New pitcher for the Yankees. CC Sabathia's night is done. It's going to be David Carpenter on our Hyundai scoreboard. 9-4 Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 8th. And top of the order for the Rays, and Carpenter's first pitch to Brendan Guyer is low for ball 1. Guyer struck out twice and drawn a walk. There are the numbers on Carpenter's season. 12 games, 0-1 record. 10 hits in 11 2/3 with 7 strikeouts. There's a good slider. Hits the inside corner. It's a ball and a strike. So Joe Girardi's hoping that Carpenter can close this one out, pick up 6 outs. And the Yankees complete the game 1 of this series in the win column. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Look at it, hits him. Guyer's headed to first base. Hit by a pitch.
Yeah, a little bit of a misfire. Trying to come in just a little bit too much. And Guyer takes one for the team.
Well, he hasn't made contact with the bat tonight, but he's made he's gotten contacted with, hit with the ball, and heads to first base. He's struck out twice, walked, and now hit by a pitch. Here's Steven Souza Jr., who's 1 for 2 with a walk. Outside for ball 1. McCann going out to talk to Carpenter. These two were teammates with the Atlanta Braves. Carpenter out of West Virginia University. While he was at WVU, he was a catcher. As Justin Wilson begins to heat up in the Yankee bullpen. Foul back off the basket, McCann. And it's a ball and a strike on Souza Jr. Souza Jr., we mentioned he leads the Rays with 5 home runs. 4 of those came in April. That was the Rays' rookie record. A lot of power. Throw gets away at first base, and Guyer's going to head down towards second. Ball caroms back towards Teixeira, and that's going to be an E1. Second error of the night for the Yankees.
See Teixeira, really no chance. The throw was into the runner.
So now a runner at second and nobody out. Two balls and a strike on the Rays right fielder. We mentioned kind of a quiet crowd here tonight, and there's a pretty good reason for that. Just over 10,000. Pitches fouled off. 2-2. 10,619 in the opening game of this series.
Monday night kind of tells a story.
Tomorrow night might be a little tougher because the Tampa Bay Lightning are in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're playing tomorrow night. Continue their series against Les Habitants. Timeout is called, and Carpenter unloads one to the screen. Couldn't quite hold on to it. That got a rise out of 10,619.
It's entertaining. This is straight out of Bull Durham. Right in the bull's head. You could see Carpenter get through the middle of his motion. Everybody standing up. What the heck? Let's fire it up. And
he'll get a little closer on this one. The 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground towards third and foul. Dylan Betances. If you're a Yankee fan, you hope he gets the night off.
stay right there.
Yep. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air. Coming on is Chris Young. He makes the catch for the out on the line drive. A hard out off the bat of Steven Souza Jr. One down. Can't hit it much better than that. You know what? I wouldn't be accepting congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, we know you hit the ball hard. He did. He smoked it. There, no luck on that. But Paul O'Neill would be tearing up the water cooler down at the end of the dugout. You try to shake his hand after a line drive out, he'd snap on you.
Swing and a miss by Longoria, strike one. You hear hang with him. You really don't want to hear that, Longoria, 4 home runs, 12 runs batted in. As David told you, he's been hot lately. 3 home runs in his last 14 at-bats. Coming into tonight after no home runs over 90 at-bats. Check the swing. Yes, he did. A ball and a strike. The 1-1 pitch and fouled back to the screen. 1-2. The Yankees have taken 5 out of 6 from the Rays so far this year. A sweep here and then 2 out of 3 at Yankee Stadium. And trying to get off to a good start against Kevin Cash's Rays here tonight in this 4-game matchup at Tropicana Field. Here's the pitch. Fouled back to the screen once again by Longoria. Evan Longoria, the face of the Rays franchise.
There always seems to be one team every year that you match up with that you just kind of have tremendous success against, especially with the unbalanced schedule. Last year, I think for the Yankees, it was Toronto. I think if you took Toronto out of the schedule last year for the Yankees, they finished way below 500. This year, shaping up early, it's the Rays.
Well, David Cohn would, if he was pitching, would have said, "Where was that one?" The count is 2-2.
Just off.
Two pitch. Call, strike 3. He got him. Longoria caught looking. Out number 2. Give Carpenter a strikeout.
Boy, McCann brings the glove back up. Ari Cooper kind of likes it. Longoria does. It looks low. Look at McCann bring that glove back up. Longoria cannot believe it. Catches himself in midstream, did Longoria there, and just took it back to the dugout. You could tell he wanted to say something else.
Here's the hitting hero for the Rays tonight, Logan Forsythe, who takes a pitch for a strike. 2 outs, man at second base. Forsythe has doubled, homered, driven in 2 of the 4 Rays runs. ball and a strike.
Same pitch. That's what you call, I guess. You know this better than me, Kenny. You were a great hitter, but you can't. Sometimes you just get the bat taken out of your hands. Sometimes it's just the way it is.
I tell you one thing though, if you walk a lot and you get a reputation, you get the close ones sometimes. The 1-1 pitch. That's just outside, 2-1.
This modern day of instant replay, challenges.
I hope it never reaches the ball strike level.
Still very much the human element with the balls and strikes. The man behind home plate.
There's a call, strike, 2-2. If all of us were able to come back 100 years from now, I'd want to be able to recognize this game.
Now, there obviously is a radar tracking system in place in all the ballparks that is used to judge the home plate umpires night in and night out.
Hit on the ground by Gregorius and in the left field for a base hit. Gardner will throw in the second as Geyer will score, and it's now 9-5. So a 2-out single for Forsythe, who's having himself a big night. A double, a home run, and a single has driven in 3 runs.
Forsythe's an impressive player. Having a good year. And he's shown us he's quick on the inner half of the plate. That's twice tonight the Yankees have tried to come in on him, and he has been too quick.
Now here's a guy who plays everywhere, as we mentioned. Started out playing primarily against lefties, but now has forced his way into the lineup on an everyday basis.
Kind of taking Ben Zobrist's role over.
Yeah. Here's Joey Butler. Hit a home run his last time to go along with 2 strikeouts. Justin Wilson is just standing by in the Yankee bullpen. He's ready.
Obviously, Loney on deck, the lefty, and that will be his.
2 balls and no strikes on Butler. .22 pitch inning for David Carpenter. 2-1. So I don't think he's going to be able to get 6 outs tonight. Joe Girardi's going to be forced to go to another pitcher.
It's kind of a catch-22 for Carpenter, as he hasn't been used a lot, kind of overlooked with the emergence of Martin, who's now on the DL, and it's hard to be sharp unless you get into a regular routine, and he really hasn't had that opportunity yet.
Still throwing hard, 96 miles an hour. Bounce foul at home plate.
Carpenter's breakout year was with the Braves in 2013. 56 games at a 1.78 ERA. Really came into his own.
Pitch is fouled off. He's setting up Craig Kimbrell. If you got it to him, usually it was a done deal.
Last year with the Braves, 3.54 ERA, so kind of came back down to earth a bit last year.
But you can see what Brian Cashman was thinking, adding another power arm to the bullpen. Butler stays alive and fouls it back.
A good swing, as you see his reaction. Looking for a multi-homer game now at this point.
Fly ball towards the gap. On the move is Chris Young, and he makes the catch. Running to the gap in right center field, and that will close it out for the Rays here in the 8th inning. They do pick up a run. They creep a little closer. 8 innings have been completed. Nice catch by Chris Young. It's 9-5 Yankees. And Carlos Beltran will lead it off for the Yankees against Erasmo Ramirez, and the first pitch is fouled off for strike one. The Rays put the shift on with Beltran up. You can see what he's done tonight. He's had a good night. 2 for 4. Pitches low and inside. A ball and a strike. Increased the hitting streak to 4 consecutive games. And fouls another pitch off. A ball and 2 strikes. Nice round number. 375 home runs. He's 25 away from 400. Swing and a miss. Ramirez picks up his second strikeout. So I was talking about my trip to Nicaragua, and the tournament was great. My group finished 3rd, which I came back with a plaque, and some of my former teammates did not. So I was happy about that. And it was a beautiful resort on the Pacific Ocean. As A-Rod is hit with a pitch, and he'll head down to first base. So Alex had a couple of hits, including a home run, hit by a pitch here in the 9th inning.
Setting up right down the middle.
Ooh.
Right off the elbow. He's got an elbow guard there, though. Looked like he was bracing to take it in the kidney. Got it off the elbow guard.
Looks like no harm, no foul. He just headed down to first base. Here's Teixeira's had a good night. He's had 3 hits, including a double. A-Rod on the move as they don't hold him on. I got to give him a stolen base.
Well, if you give him indifference.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, no, it's a stolen base. High fly ball to deep left field. Butler going back near the wall. This one is gone. A home run for Mark Teixeira. And it's now 11-5 Yankees. Teixeira with a 4-hit night. His 11th home run of the year and the 5th home run of the night for the Yankees.
And to the opposite field to boot. Saw Teixeira do this a couple times in spring training, that stack and tilt style. Lean back.
5 home runs for the New York Yankees in tonight's game, and Teixeira is now 1 home run behind Beltran on the all-time list. He's got 374. That pitch to McCann is outside for a ball. 11th home run of the year. A power show by the New York Yankees tonight here at Tropicana Field. Ball is hit hard. On the backhand is Beckham from short right field. The throw is in time to get McCann for the second out. Another hit taken away by the shift. Fans, after the final out, don't miss the W.B. Mason postgame for a recap of tonight's series opener, including highlights from around the majors. Plus, hear Joe Girardi's manager's report. And Meredith Marakovitz gets a reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the W.B. Mason postgame, only on Yes. Of course, Bob and Jack will get you highlights from other games around the major leagues and always give you their valued opinions on what happened here tonight. Ground ball, and it's a great stop by Cabrera. Turns with a 360 movement to throw out Headley, who was robbed of his 3rd hit of the night. That'll do it for the Yankees here in the 9th inning. They pick up 2 runs on 1 hit. Mark Teixeira's 11th home run of the year. It's 11-5. Fox Sports Live tonight at 11. You can see it on Fox Sports 1 or stay tuned for the simulcast of Fox Sports Live immediately following Yankees coverage right here on Yes. Braden Pinder comes on. He'll be trying to close this one out. He's coming on here in the bottom of the 9th. Been up and down to the minor leagues a couple of times this year. This will be a 3rd appearance for the Yankees. A couple of innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. The tall, hard-throwing right-hander. He will face Loney, Cabrera, and Beckham. Here in the bottom of the 9th, the Yankees leading 11-5 on the strength of 5 home runs tonight. Twice last year, the Yankees hit 5 in a game. April 12th against Boston and May 17th against Pittsburgh, both at home at Yankee Stadium. So they've done it for the first time this year here at Tropicana Field against the Rays.
Yes, the demise of the Bronx Bombers was greatly overstated coming into this year. The Yanks are back to banging them out of here.
43 home runs now. Pitch is low to Loney. And tomorrow night, there's tomorrow night's starting pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi, trying to pick up his 4th win against no losses. The 1-1 pitch, and that is inside for a ball. Line drive right at Gregorius. What'd you call it, Coney? Duck and Chuck?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Chuck and Duck, rather. That's just a little too close for comfort. And this is the modern game right now. I mean, have you ever seen a pitcher get a line drive hit right over his head like that? And it's a can of corn for the shortstop right behind him almost?
So 1 down here in the 9th inning. It brings up Asdrubal Cabrera. He's had a couple of hits, a single and a double, and has scored a run. And the first pitch of Cabrera is in there for a strike from Pinder. And by the way, the stolen base that was originally given to Alex Rodriguez, they have now changed it to defensive indifference. And that's just because the first baseman was not behind him. There's been plenty of guys who've gotten stolen bases with the first baseman not holding them on. You're saying they didn't care he got into scoring position when they're losing the game?
4-run game, too, at that point. I mean, really, the previous inning we were thinking about it. There was one more run from the Rays to make this a save opportunity. And the next thing you know, Joe Girardi's under the gun with his best options down there, Betances and Miller. Now, obviously, Teixeira took care of that with that 2-run moonshot to left.
0-2 the count on Cabrera. Foul tip into the glove of McCann for strike 3. So Pinder picks up a strikeout. Rays are down to their last down. They'll bring up Tim Beckham. Looking at Pinder's numbers down at AAA. 2.63 ERA, 13 2/3 innings, 15 strikeouts, only 3 walks. That's why he's here in the big leagues.
That's right. And they liked him in spring training.
Beckham had a sacrifice fly last time. Picked up his 13th run batted in of the year.
The Yankees have excellent depth in AAA.
Ball 1 inside.
In terms of bullpen arms, ready to go at any point. Last year's #1 draft choice, Jacob Lindgren, is throwing up some really good numbers down there. Jose Ramirez, the Yankees, we've seen a little bit of him over the last year or two. He's throwing very well.
Ball is hit high in the air to left field. Brett Gardner drifting back. He's near the warning track. This should do it. No, it hit the catwalk. And Gregorius made the catch, and that's it. The ball game is over. A little pinball on the final play of the game. Pinball for Pinder. The Yankees pick up the win by a score of 11. How about that? You can see anything in this ballpark.
Gardner was camped on the warning track
at
left field, and the ball ends up with Gregorius at short.
So Gregorius stayed with the play, and he makes the catch. The ball never hit the